Right. Hey everyone, I'm Klloo. So, let's have some fun speculating on the Hunted. Now, first off, forgive me, by the time this is actually coming out, right, I will be away and it will be right in the middle of when the main spoilers for the Hunted should be coming out. So, anything and everything that I say may have come true, if we're lucky, right, or be completely wrong and invalidated. So, yeah. Be prepared. I was actually going to start with the daggers, right? With Fangs and Arakni's daggers, because yesterday we had Cindra's, but of course this morning, the day I'm recording this, we got Fangs. So yeah, I think I'll skip. No, you know what? Yeah, this is the thoughts that I had, right? So for Fang's dagger, it was nice and simple, just attacking a marked hero. It gains go again. It has 2 power and is a 2-cost dagger, right? To sort of make it a nice alternative to the Quicksilver dagger, but then also a way to set up a Quicksilver dagger in the offhand. What we ended up getting for Fang was kind of similar, right? It was still, proc, go again. It was a 1 power, 1-cost dagger, though, unfortunately, which I think is a little bit on the weaker side for Warrior. I would have liked to see them maintain 2-cost, 2 power, but nonetheless, no marking interaction. I didn't think he'd have any marking interaction, to be honest. I was really scratching my head trying to come up with something that fits what we know for Fang, and truth be told, we know nothing for Fang, because obviously there's not been a proper Draconic Warrior before, because the Emperor did not actually have any Draconic Warrior support cards, or cards generally in general, right? So, yeah, definitely completely wrong, right, with Fang's dagger, but Arakni's, right? I might have got this one. So, stealth on hit mark, 1 power, piercing 1, 2 cost, and go again. Stealth interaction, obviously, with a ton of stealth interaction that we've seen already, right? 3 cards so far. 1 agent, Tarantula Toxin does interact with stealth, and then base Arakni's ability also interacts with stealth attacks rather than stealth attack action cards. So yeah, I do think dagger on mark hit, right? And that way, if you're taking both of them, basically the first dagger sets up Arakni's ability, and then if you don't have any cards in hand to utilize it, right, you've got the other dagger if you're taking both daggers. Same copy, right? Instead of the normal assassin kit, then you have a way to still capitalize on Arakni's ability. I think it will still, maintain piercing, 2 costs and 1 power, right? Like all the Arakni daggers, just so, it's not a huge step above or a huge step below. But I definitely do think that we'll get a stealth dagger, right, for all those interactions. But nonetheless, on to the more easy stuff. So, marvels, right? There are 17 marvels in total for the Hunted, and we already know the vast majority of them, right? So we have the 6 heroes, Arakni, Cindra, Fang, right? Then we have the 6 agents of chaos, and we know that Fealty will also be a marvel. So that leaves 4 slots for 4 more marvels. Now, I don't think that Marked will get a marvel card, right? It's already basically full art, right? I can see them doing a cold foil variant, but the other issue you have is you create a mark token for your opponent. So either your opponent is pulling out their mark token or you're pulling out your mark token. It's going to be a bit confusing, especially, in the early game, especially with, new players. So I can't see them doing a Marvel variant, right? Because I do think the simplest thing to do with marked is if you're playing a marking deck, you're the one who will have the mark token. Right? So I can't see it being, here's my Marvel mark token, put it on your side of the board, give it back to me, right? It's just, it's a debacle waiting to happen, so I don't think Marked will be one of the Marvels. What I would like to see is Arakni, right? So Arakni slip through the cracks and Arakni solitary confinement, getting Marvel treatment, mainly because I think slip through the cracks is a bit more of a better actual classic constructed contender, right, than Arakni Marionette, just because Arakni Marionette has the whole randomness to him, right, and that can really impede your deck building and your turns if you slip up and you have the wrong hand for the wrong agent. And I do think if Chaos itself is strong enough, then Slip Through the Cracks will do the job just fine, right? He has a better way of generating go again and stringing it together, more attacks, starting with stealth, going into contract, something like that, right? So I do like Slip Through the Cracks a little bit more, and I'd like to see it in full Marvel, because yeah, I think it'd be really, really nice, right? Maybe alternative art, maybe not. But again, it's already a promo, it's already extended art, so I can see it not being Slip Through the Cracks, and I can definitely see it not being solitary confinement. But Dromite, I definitely think Dromai will get the treatment, right? We'll get old Dromai as a Marvel in the set, and we'll probably get new Dromai as an armory deck a little bit later on. So instead of Arakni, I could also see them pairing Dromai with Fae, right? And just starting to cycle through all the old heroes and get a Marvel variant out there, since, you know, the history pack has been canned, and that was the way of generating the Marvel versions of the older heroes. Now, weapon-wise, I don't think either Dromai's weapon or Fae's weapon is that, you know, impactful or memorable, right, for it to receive the same Marvel treatment as the Thorn did, right? So I don't see them doing, you know, Dromai and I can't remember what her weapon was called, right? The weird orb thing, or, you know, Searing Ember. So yeah, with the 4 slots left, I could see it being Fae, and Dromai, right? And that'd be nice pull, right? They are decent heroes for Living Legend, and they, you know, should, well, maybe not Dromai, but Fae should see some love going into, Thought, right? Faye's not LL yet, is he? Is he? That I might check. He's either really close or he is, right? So, yeah, either way, I can see them doing a Faye Marvel. Okay, on to the more speculative stuff. So, 6 cards. Do you know what these are? Yeah, so Legendaries, right? There are 6 Legendary slots for the Hunted, and here's what I am thinking they're going to be broken down to, given, you know, the streamlining of the Legendary process and what we got with Rosetta. So there'll be 1 Chaos, 1 Assassin, 1 Draconic, 1 Warrior, 1 Ninja, and then 1 generic. And I do think the generic will have some royal synergy, right? Probably similar to most of the royal cards, where it has X effect and then X greater effect if your hero is royal. Give it some synergy with Crown. That would be lovely to see. But for the actual slots and effects, well, I think the Chaos Legendary will be a headpiece, Assassin chest, Draconic arms, Warrior head, Ninja legs, and generic will be chest. Now, the rationalization for this is basically just looking through all the legendaries and, you know, trying to pick out what is needed for X class, right? Warrior, their legendary love for just base warrior needs a head slot, right? Same with Ninja needing legs, right? They do have the no, I was going to confuse myself again. It's a chest slot misfound, right? For the Mystic Ninja legs, right? And then arms for the Draconic, because, well, I would assume LSS wants, you know, it might not be best in slot, right? For them to go, well, you have a Draconic Warrior, so he can take the head and the arms of the legendaries from this set, right? Same with Ninja, same with potentially the generic, right? If he's royal, so I've tried to, you know, line those up, so that's why it's arms, head, legs, and chest for Draconic through to the generic. And then Chaos Assassin chest. The reason for that is Redback Shroud and all the attack action love we're getting on the equipment slot / hero slot, right, for Assassin. I think they're sort of being streamlined, right? And they will probably still have attack reactions, right, as cards, but Chaos Assassin, you know, is already a bit busy, right? You got to take Marked, you got to take Stealth, you're probably wanting to take Contract, so throwing, you know, a handful of attack reactions with Redback Shroud isn't as strong as potentially having a new, you know, stealth-oriented chest piece. And then for Chaos Head, right, a nice destruction effect, transform your hero into an agent of chaos of your choice. So basically, you straight away transform, you get to double dip on your hero ability, but right then and there at the end of your turn, you'll revert back, right? So you can time it a lot better, but you don't get as strong of a usage for some of them, right? Like Trapdoor, or what's the weapon equipping one, right? Where you can equip a weapon on your opponent's turn, then equip it on your turn, get 2 of that, right? So yeah, Chaos Head. Now, there's no comparison to make, right, because we don't have any other Chaos equipment pieces. So for Assassin, again, we have the Redback Shroud comparison. So attack reaction, destroy effects, stealth related, right, and then also just setting up Mark, right, I think would be nice, simple, elegant. So, you know, it's your on button, right, or whatever you're trying to do. Just you attack, probably with daggers. If it has stealth, right, then you use your attack reaction, it will mark your opponent, and that sets up your ability. Arakni's ability also does trigger on the combat chain, right, because it's attacking, not next attack, right, I believe. So that would also interact with using your daggers, if that's the case, if they do have stealth, where you can use this attack reaction to gain the buff of Arakni's ability, right? So I think that would be nice synergy to see. Then we have Draconic and their arms. Just nice and simple. A destruction effect that gives a red card damage, can't be prevented, right? Similar to Tiger Stripe Shuko, although Tiger Stripe Shuko is ninja equipment. Again, the only comparison to really make is, Flamescale Furnace, but then you have the other instant procs through the Sash, right? And then there's Heatwave? No. Is Heatwave Draconic? Either way, right? So instant proc seems to be a Draconic thing, right? Red card interaction seems like the Draconic thing, and then we all know we kind of need more damage, can't be prevented, right? Especially for the Enigma bubble bursting. So having that for either Fang or Cindra would definitely be nice, right? And then the Warrior, we have a head slot, attack reaction, destroy effect, target weapon gains on hit draw. Again, nice, simple, sort of feels what they kind of need. It's a little bit better than Helm the Sharp Eye because it doesn't have that conditional hit. I haven't done cost or anything for any of these as well, right? So I'll leave that up to LSS and balancing. Obviously, it's not like these effects are actually what we're going to see, but I'm curious to see if I get close with any of them. So yeah, legendary-wise comparison, we've got Valiant Dynamos and Brave Forge braces being reprinted in the Japanese variant of the box, right? So I could see them doing a head slot or a chest slot because, why would they stick the Warrior Legendary as another leg or arms in the Japanese set? I feel that would just be kind of weird, right? So I do think it has to be a head or a chest slot, and I'm vying for head since, we kind of need a nice head slot for Warrior, right? On to Ninja with their legs. Action, destroy effect, equip one dagger from your graveyard, right? I'd really love to see some dagger destruction, re-equip effects, synergy. I said that horribly, right? Especially for Fate. Now, we have the normal leg slot comparison to make, which is basically giving go again or some sort of action point generation, right? Ninja really doesn't need that. So we also have some out of the ordinary ninja pieces by way of Pouncing Paws and Stride of Reprisal, both being able to generate Crouching Tiger. So I could see legs for ninja in the Hunted being dagger equipped from the graveyard, right? But having maybe some cost associated to it because it's a little bit better than obviously generating a Crouching Tiger. But yeah, that's truly what I would like to see. Just nice and simple, right? Maybe a hidden blade and it's just, a dagger in the boot as per, most tropes, right? On to the generic. So, chest slots, right? I do want to see interaction with Crown Dominion and Royal Synergy. I was just basically mimicking what we've seen with Arcanite Skullcap and Arcanite Fortress, where we get, a chest piece with decent block, so Guardwell 1, and then maybe if your hero is Royal, it has much higher block, so +2. So a 1 or a 3, depending on whether or not you're Royal, to sort of balance out Crown Dominion, taking it for anyone else, right? You get the little gold bonus, but then you're also getting, or you're making up for the head slot block in the chest piece, right? Something like that. Anyway, that's my ideas for the legendaries. So then that just leaves, of course, the Fable. Now, recent times, the Fables we're getting are a lot more specific, right? And not necessarily necessary, right? So, yeah, they have decent effects. Some of them can definitely see use, but generally speaking, LSS likes the Fable being high chase, pretty design, but not mandatory. So I do think that's what we'll probably continue to see. Now, a lot of people, right, are thinking that the Arakni little chaos orb that we see in the trailer and the eye, whatever you want to call it, is going to be the Fable, and I can definitely see that. So come up with 3 different ideas, right? Either the Fable will be a chaos, Fable will be a new generic, right? Or the Fable will be a warrior card. So, for the Fable Chaos card, we have Pitch. Until the start of your next turn, if you'd become an Agent of Chaos, you get to choose, right? So you take the randomness out of Arakni's ability. That's kind of nice. It's very niche, though, right? And, super powerful, especially in the late game if you're picking each time, right? You're cycling through it. It'd be really, really cool, right? And it'd help make him a lot more consistent. But I don't know, I can't actually see it being there. Mainly, the main issue I have with picking a Fable is we've seen one Chaos card, right? And then the Chaos Agents. So if Chaos is actually going to be a full supported talent, we don't really know what the mechanic is just yet, right? For us to link the Fable to it, if it is just the eye orb thing from the trailer. Right, for the generic, I've gone with Pitch. Your next weapon attack gains 1 power. Yeah, lots of people are going to love that, no? Right? I feel like that would be a nice generic. It could be like Flames of Vokal, right? Vokal? Is there an L in there? Sorry, my brain is mush. I'm trying to just record a whole bunch of these, so I've got stuff to put out. But yeah, so Pitch, and then your next weapon attack this turn gains +1. I think it'd be kind of nice, sleek, right? And definitely sort of return them to a bit more of a nice inclusion. Maybe they make it yellow or red, so it's not that exciting. But yeah. And then for Warrior, Pitch, your next weapon attack costs 1 less, right? That must be really nice to see. So you get, a little bit more value, most likely have it in yellow again, so you're making up the blue cost value, right? But then you've got the fact that you can reuse it and cycle it, right? So yeah, I do think that we might get a curveball, right? The Chaos card may just be, something else, and then the Fable you know, might even be a landmark. I could see them doing something like the Royal Palace or something, some sort of synergy for Fang and Cindra, right? Maybe, you know, if it has a second clause for Arakni, you know, since he's the interloper. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see. That's my guesses. Let's find out how well I've done when I get back. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.